Fox Hallow Fam. I'm Dave and welcome to Baking with Fox Hallow Kitchen. Today we're bringing you an explosion of flavor as we make Volcano Sushi Rolls. They're California rolls topped with a sriracha mayo sauce and your favorite seafoods. So if you're ready, then let's have some fun. Alright, the first thing we're going to do is make our rice for our sushi. What we need is a cup of sushi grade rice, which I have strained and rinsed off in cold water until the water turns clear. You want to rinse any excess starch off. To a cup of rice, we're going to add a cup and a quarter of water. Just follow package directions, and we're going to bring this to a boil over medium-high heat. Okay, once our water is boiling, we are going to turn the heat down to low and cover this and let it simmer for 25 minutes. Alright, once our rice has cooked here, I'm going to put it into a large bowl, a really big bowl. We don't want to crowd it. We want to have plenty of surface area for it to cool. I'm going to throw it in the bottom here. Think about the sushi rice, sushi grade rice. It's sticky, but it doesn't turn to mush. It stays, the grains stay intact.
Now, Dave, do you know what you do if you have a bowl of rice that has basically gone to like porridge mode?
Porridge mode, well, you can't really make sushi out of it, but you can make something else maybe.
A little trick I learned the other day was put a piece of bread in with your rice, and it actually absorbs
some of the liquid. Yeah, that could happen.
And brings it back. So
yeah. So what I'm going to do to add to this is I'm going to drizzle 2 tablespoons of rice vinegar over the top.
Now, why do you need the rice vinegar for this?
It adds to the flavor, believe me. For sushi, it pops up in the flavor pretty good. And then we're just going to very gently toss this with the rice. We don't want to manhandle it. We just want to make sure that the grains stay intact. That's the thing about sushi rice. It's sticky, but the grains stay intact. Because it's a special short grain rice that does that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to set this aside to cool down to room temperature. We want to be able to handle it. We don't want it refrigerated, but we want to be able to handle it without burning our hands, of course. So I'm just going to set this aside while we work on our veggies. Okay, while our rice is cooling, we're going to go cut up some fillings for our sushi rolls. First thing I'm going to use is some imitation crab legs. And we're going to cut these lengthwise. Everything's going to be lengthwise. Cut these into fourths to get them to where we have some nice crab leg. Little sticks of crab leg. It'll take about 2 of these per sushi roll. And we're going to be doing about 3 of them with the cup of rice that we made. So I'm just going to cut these into fourths. That's it. We're going to set these aside and move on. Next thing is to cut up a cucumber. Probably won't use all of this, but we're going to cut it up. I cut it in half pieces. That'll make pretty good size. Just peel them. And what we're going to do is remove the seeds, and we're just going to use the fleshy part, and we're going to cut it into long matchsticks. Thing is, you can put anything you want into sushi rolls. We are making California rolls for the base here. California rolls is a type of sushi that doesn't have any raw fish or raw meat, but you can put anything you want in these. If you want to use salmon or tuna or anything like that, you can also use that. Okay, and there we go. While I'm here, I'm going to cut up a couple green onions for garnish later. Just a couple, don't need a lot. Get the excess off of here. And just cut little circles of them out. All the way back up to the green. Okay, that's good. And then we move on again. All right, next I have a ripe avocado here. We're gonna see if we can get this out. Yeah, it feels really good. Usually you get them, they're either too hard or too soft. This one feels just about right. It's coming right apart. Perfect. Get this out with a spoon here. Get that little nut out of there. And we're going to cut this like we did the cucumber into thin slices. Doesn't have to be as thin as the cucumber, but we're going to work on it. And there we go. We have some thin slices of avocado that we're going to use for our filling as well. Okay, we're getting ready to make our California rolls for the base. What we're going to do is take a half sheet of nori, which is seaweed, and we're going to put it shiny side down. It's all kind of shiny. And then with wet fingers, I'm going to take about 1/3 of our sushi rice and press it down onto there. We don't want to press hard. We just want to make sure that it covers the nori.
Okay.
Now I cut these in half because we're going to make California rolls, which are kind of inside out rolls. So we don't want the whole sheet.
Okay.
And we're going to use about 1/3 of our rice here. Have to wet my fingers periodically. To get this coated here. I'm going to cover the entire sheet.
Okay, yeah, I was just about to ask you about that.
Yep, we're going to cover the entire sheet. If you're making them with the nori on the outside, you don't want to cover the whole sheet. You want to leave like a little 1/2-inch border, but we're not doing that. We're doing the inside out rolls,
okay,
which are more common in Japanese or Chinese restaurants. And just cover it completely here.
Now, do you remember the first time you actually had a California roll or sushi in general?
I don't remember exactly when I had them the first time.
Because I know a lot of people are always kind of weird about sushi.
Mm-hmm. Well, California rolls are a good way to introduce you because there's no raw fish in them. So that's a good way to start if you've never had sushi before.
Okay.
I'm just going to press this down ever so lightly to make sure it sticks to our rice paper or to our seaweed paper. And dry my hands in just a second. And then what I'm going to do, just for decoration mainly, I'm going to sprinkle some black sesame seeds about over the top half here.
Okay.
You can use regular sesame seeds, toasted sesame seeds, whatever you want. I'm using black ones because they really stand out.
Oh yeah.
Against the white rice. And just put it about the first half of it.
Okay.
And then what we're going to do is we're going to take this and pick it up very gently. And we're going to transfer it to our sushi mat.
Okay.
Just the bottom into our sushi mat here.
Okay.
Which I'm then going to put up here. And I've covered this with plastic wrap so that the rice doesn't stick to it as much. We don't want the rice to stick. We're going to take some of our fillings, like our crab and the avocado.
Yeah, avocado is awesome.
Now I sliced this really thin because we don't want too much of it. We just want a little bit, a little taste of everything, and a couple of our matchsticks of cucumber. You don't want to overload these. It's okay to go a little over the edges because we're going to cut that later.
Okay.
Okay. And then what we're going to do very carefully here, we are going to roll this up using our sushi mat. And the hard part is getting it started. And roll it up in a nice tight roll using our sushi mat.
I'm sure this takes a lot of practice too.
It does take a couple times getting used to it. You don't normally get it the first time sometimes. Okay, and I think that is it. And there we have our little sushi roll that's rolled up here.
Okay.
Okay, and we are going to put this back on our very carefully put this back on our cutting board.
Okay.
And then I'm going to try to cut it.
All right.
Okay, next we're going to cut our sushi roll, hopefully into 6 or 8 pieces. It helps to have a really sharp knife that's kind of wet. And we're just going to start in the center.
Okay.
And cut it down the middle.
Oh, that looks like a good cut to start.
Yep, and you kind of have to
continually wet your knife?
Yeah, continue to wet the knife and just wipe it off between each cut. And we're just going to cut another roll here. Okay. And this is tedious, but if you wet your knife between each cut, just careful not to cut yourself. It works really well.
Yes, safety first.
Yeah, safety first. Okay, almost done. We're halfway through.
That's a good sign. Then what are we doing after this step here, Dave?
Then we are going to turn these into volcano rolls with our other toppings. And we'll get to that as soon as we get enough of these made. We're going to move on.
Okay, sounds good.
Alright, for our topping, I'm going to take about 4 ounces of the seafood sticks again, and we're just going to cut these up into little bitty pieces. Just going to do this into smaller pieces, just like little tiny chunks.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you have to be exact with this, Dave?
No, absolutely not. Just little pieces, that's all you need.
Okay.
We're just going to get little pieces that we can make a topping out of.
Okay. Are you going to dice it into cubes, or how you?
Kind of like that, yeah. Kind of into cubes, smaller pieces. Doesn't have to be exactly cubes or anything like that. Just the smaller, as small as you can get them.
Oh, that looks good. Those look really nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're just chopping them up is all.
Choppity, choppity.
Chopping and chopping.
Now, if you don't have your seafood sticks, what could you use as a substitution?
You can use regular crab meat. The seafood sticks hold together better than crab, which kind of crumbles. But you can use whatever you want.
Okay.
I'm just using the seafood sticks because they hold their shape a little better when you bake them. And almost done here.
Okay, that looks really, really good.
Okay.
You're making me hungry.
Okay, and that's done. We're going to move on.
Okay.
We're then going to take about the same amount of shrimp, about 4 ounces. This is raw uncooked shrimp with the tails off.
Okay.
And we're going to chop it up into little pieces as well.
Okay.
Let's get it all chopped up there into small pieces.
Okay. You don't have to be exact with that?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Just shrimp pieces.
Okay.
You don't have to be precise in any way.
Now, can you use bigger shrimp or not?
These are small. You can use any size as long as you cut them up. The key to this is, though, because we are going to be baking these, you want them to be raw, uncooked shrimp.
Okay.
With no shells. You want them deveined with no shells on or anything like that.
Okay.
Make sure the tails are off too. And we're just going to chop it up into shrimp pieces.
Looking good.
Yeah, we're looking great here. Almost done. We'll get our shrimps together here. I love shrimp. Absolutely my favorite.
Yes.
Okay, we're going to put this in the same bowl as our seafood sticks.
Okay.
And then we're going to move on to the next step.
All right, sounds good, Dave.
Okay, we're done. Okay, now we have our shrimp and our seafood here. I'm going to add to this 2 pretty generous tablespoons of mayo.
Okay.
Right, like that. And 1 tablespoon of sriracha sauce. It's a 1 to 2 mixture.
Okay.
And we are just going to coat this.
Coat your seafood?
Coat the seafood
Okay.
in the sriracha sauce. Let's get it all mixed together there. Mix the seafood and the shrimp together. Okay. And coat it in this spicy mayo. You can smell it from here. Yep.
Yes, you can definitely smell the spicy mayo.
Okay.
It looks really good.
It does look really good. And that is all we're doing for right now. We're going to move on to our next step. Okay, what we're going to do now is assemble these. I'm going to take 4 of our California rolls and just arrange them together.
Okay.
Just like that.
Oh, they look awesome, Dave.
Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to mound some of the volcano filling on top of these.
Okay. Yeah, that looks awesome.
Our shrimp and seafood we're going to take and put it on top.
Okay.
Okay.
Definitely making me hungry.
Mm-hmm. And it's just mounted on top there like a volcano.
Okay.
And then we're going to keep doing that and see how many we get.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah.
Let's see what you get here. Now you said we're going to be baking this?
Yes, we're going to bake this at 400 degrees.
Okay.
For about 12 to 15 minutes, just until the shrimp is done.
Okay.
Shrimp doesn't take that long, and you don't want to over bake it. That's why the shrimp is raw to begin with.
Okay.
Because you don't want to overdo it.
Okay. All right. Let's see what you got here.
Okay. Put another set here. I'll just put what I have left over on the other ones.
Okay.
It's just a little bit. And that is it. We're going to bake this at 400 degrees for about 12 to 15 minutes until the shrimp is done.
Okay, sounds good.
now for the most amazing part, the taste test. I'm going to get just a little piece of it here. That is spicy, and the seafood is terrific. You guys are going to love it. Wrapping up today, I want to thank you all for joining us and encourage you to check out our friends and support channels listed in the description below. But before I go, always remember, good times and good food on Baking with Fox Hallow Kitchen. We'll see you soon.
If you like this video or any of our other videos,
Be sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons and stay tuned for future shows.